It's a puzzle, though.
It's still a game.
One in a day, though. So, okay.
Speaking from...
I only play these one and done games on my phone.
21 and done games.
No,
You heard it here.
My
It's not
21
20.
and
Okay,
done
I'll tell you
games
how many.
every day on my phone, 365 days
There's
a year,
7.
but I'm not a gamer.
There's 7 puzzles.
Are you sure
I will call
that's
them
it?
puzzles that I do every day.
Speaking
Yes.
As somebody...
I have watched her spend 90 minutes
Oh, wait.
on this one game
That was when I had.
Which game?
That was when I had
because I
Letterbox.
have to solve it.
his
in
letterbox.
3.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna win the game, even though she could one and done the game in about
Maybe I
5
should-
minutes. She's like, I'm gonna
It's
spend
true.
90 minutes on this one game.
So
my
it'll
phone is
tell-
going to be on. Can I charge my phone so I can stare at the screen for 90 minutes? That's playing a game. It's the same thing. It's
It's
the
true, but I don't
same
play it
thing.
anymore.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Mamalukes podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Luke,
I'm Alysha.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Virginia.
and today we're talking about the Copenhagen Test TV series, board games, and cozy games. But first, a quick PSA. So, I usually do this at the end of the episode, but I guess I need to remind all of you who haven't done this, subscribe. We're still a very new show, and this really helps us out. Better yet, I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you subscribe now, you can do it for 100% off. It's a pretty good deal since it's normally like $1,000. So you should take advantage. But if you already have subscribed, you get a big thumbs up from all of us. But please, you can still share with a friend, share with anyone you know that would enjoy podcasts like this. But let's get right into it. So, Matt, we heard you were talking about, or I should say, watching this Copenhagen Test series.
Yeah, so we're always trying to look for something new. This came out. It's got Simu Lee in it, and I enjoyed him in the Marvel movies. And he was in Lottery Ticket with John Cena, which wasn't great. But other than that, I don't really think it was like his fault. But
What was his original Marvel movie?
Shang-Chi.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So him and a bunch of people that you probably don't know their names. A couple of them you might have seen before, like Adam Goffrey. But most of these people, you probably don't know who they are. So the main cast was Simu Lee, Melissa Barrera, Sinclair Danielle, and Adam Goffrey. And like I said, there was a bunch of other people that have bit roles and things before that I've seen, but nobody of like name caliber that we would have, no David Harbour or anything like that. So, okay. All right, so going through, I just want to, normally when I tear something apart, I tear it apart like every single little piece of it. This is, 12 hours of content, so I'm not going to do that just so Luke doesn't have to try and edit me talking for 4 hours.
Thanks.
So I'm going to shorten this up a little bit for some key points and things that happen. And then there's a lot of this show that was filler. There's a lot of things that could have been cut. This could have very easily been a decent 2-hour movie. So,
How long was it?
it was 12 episodes, I think, and it was an hour an
right,
episode.
right.
So, there was one scene, especially like his parents are super proud of him because he's like a first generation Asian, which they talk about throughout the entire thing. And he's, working for the American government because that makes them super excited because he's, an American.
Right.
But there's like a 20 minutes of an episode where his parents are at a parade and they don't explain what the parade's for or anything else. But his dad apparently is like very cheesily riding in the back of a car, waving American flags and stuff. And it was just like totally unnecessary. It just really didn't even need to be in the show. But so the show starts off with Alexander, which is Simu Lee. And he's in the jungle and looks like he's on like a covert mission. Like he's a special forces person. And basically he has some interaction with some bad guys. He shoots, stuff like that. But he's about to leave and get to the chopper. And they come over his intercom and they tell him that there's some hostages headed his way and he needs to save one because that's all the room that they have on the chopper. And they said, prioritize an American citizen. And he's like, who is this? And they're like, just follow your orders. And he just goes with it. Okay. So he ends up walking through the woods back on his way to the chopper. He finds a little boy that's crying, starts speaking to him in Spanish because they're in like a South American country. And he takes the little boy and he starts walking to the chopper. A little bit later, a little bit down the path, there's a female that comes up to him and she's like, save me, I'm an American citizen and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I can't, I only have one spot. And he takes the little boy and puts him on the chopper. So the next scene that they cut to is like him at a desk job. So we're guessing that because he didn't follow this random person that came across his headset's orders, that he failed some got demoted. Got demoted. Now he works in an office, stuff like that. Yeah. So apparently it's been some time too. It's been like more than a year, like since he was in the field. Okay. And he works for a company called the Orphanage. And basically what the Orphanage is, it's some top secret government organization that oversees the CIA, the FBI, Homeland Security, and all those different divisions. They govern them to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So it's a made up, supposedly, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's a made up entity that oversees all these other things. So he's very unhappy working at a desk job and he's applying to be put back in the field. So, and in that process, you learn that he's been having like what they call panic attacks and he's taking a medication for it. Then he's hiding that from the orphanage because he doesn't want them to know that he's taking a prescription for having anxiety attacks because he's trying to be put back into the field. So the Copenhagen test was actually that scenario that happened to him in the jungle. Okay. Which you'll find out later in the show. Okay. So, let's see. So we find out that he's under investigation because some of the intel that he as an analysis that he's found is being leaked. Like somebody just happens like 3 specific things that he worked on. The information was leaked to an enemy. They don't get into any specifics or anything like that. That's all they say. And it finds out that he's the common denominator between those 3 leaks. So they start kind of investigating him. So the orphanage is investigating the orphanage. And they really harp on the fact that the orphanage has never had a breach. Like they've never had any kind of security leak or anything like that. So the 4 smartest and most manipulative women in the world, they decide that they're going to manipulate him into all these different situations. So like every conversation that he has with them, they base it off of his personality or they base off of what they think that he would like to hear. And I mean, it's like, you think that like when they pull him to the side and she's like, I'm telling you this because, I really care about you, and I don't want anybody else to hear. Well, all these people have gotten together and decided that conversation was going to happen. So They're just full on manipulative, just taking care of this guy, like everything that happens for like the next 4 episodes.
Yeah. Even down to like the really minute details too, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, like how they're going to phrase it, how they're going to act it out when they say it, everything. It's super creepy to me. Like it really bothered me. Like after 2 episodes of it, I'm like, I fucking hate everybody in this show. Like it was so bad. You know what I mean? Because they make him out to be like this really honorable, guy and stuff like that. And they're just using the shit out of him. Mm. So basically what they come to figure out is that somebody put nanites in his brain and he is broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal from his brain and everything that he sees and hears, somebody is able to monitor because of these nanites are broadcasting it out of his head.
That escalated.
Okay. So they take him into this like enclosed room where there's no signals, no computer signals, nothing can get into, something like that. And they have these 30-minute meetings with him like every day throughout the entire episode. And that's when they're telling him, hey, you've been compromised. This is a scan of your brain where you're broadcasting this. Don't let them know that type thing through the whole thing.
When did he get the nanites or how?
They don't get into that till a little bit later. Yeah. It's probably almost it's probably almost the end of the series before they actually tell you like
They
how
do
he
a
got him.
flashback or whatever.
Well, they have to roll into it. So he's going
Oh
to,
boy.
yeah, it's another woman. But so he's like going through all this stuff and like pretending that he doesn't know that he knows, that he's giving away these trade secrets. So they keep using him as bait. Like they'll give him top secret information that they want to leak to try and trap somebody. And they end up like bombing this innocent family because like the information that gets sent out of his head, terrorists like attack this family and kill these innocent people. And so he's, on the fence about that, like, because he's supposed to be a good person, like, I feel bad because, I'm leaking this intel and it puts somebody else at risk and things like that.
Right.
So then they start doing these flashbacks and he's having like these, did I make the right decision type things? Because I left this woman in the jungle and I didn't take the boy and all this stuff. And that's why he's having his anxiety and stuff like that, because he can't come to terms with if he made the right decision on the Copenhagen test.
Right.
So, it goes on. And like I said, there's just so much filler and things that are in this, like moving on and stuff like that. Like they introduce a guy and his relationship with that guy is never really truly explained other than he's known him since he was a little kid. And I'm like, that's the bad guy. And then they talk about the main villain is actually a guy with a cane. That's how they refer to him. They were like, somebody gave somebody intel and it came from a guy with a cane. And the very next scene, they show the guy with the cane, which is from the beginning, the Godfrey guy. So a guy walking around with a cane. Okay, you got Shang-Chi, who's trained Secret Service assassin. This guy gets away from him like 2 times physically. Like he's the distance from me to you away from him.
Right.
And he's even got a gun drawn on him at the one point and stuff like that. And the guy miraculously gets away, but he has to walk with a cane. So that part of it was super intolerable. It was just like
skipping with the cane.
It's hard to kind of figure out who the bad guy is really, because when you find out like the guy that has the cane, he's actually trying to get back at the orphanage because early on in their inception, he was working, he wanted to join them and they set him up in a hotel room and somebody got intel that he was in there, and to torture him, they went in and broke his leg in like a really gruesome way. And that's why he has to walk with a cane. And it's like 30 years later, now he's trying to get back at the orphanage and actually the one main person that set him up for failure. So that's like the story of the villain. But they tell you, I mean, like, I'm not even spoiling anything because it was like literally 90 minutes into this, they show the guy and they tell you he's the bad guy.
Okay.
So it's not like that's, top secret, whatever. So it's not a terrible show. There are like some twists and stuff like that. Most of it was really obvious what the twists were. Like when people were trying to play people, like the acting's not great. So, I mean, it's not like it's not a Bourne movie. It's not as good as like, what's the one on Amazon with John Krasinski?
Let's look it up.
It's like a Clancy book.
You should watch Night Agent.
Yeah, Night Agent's better than this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Night Agent is better
We
than this
watched
too.
that and liked it. The first season I liked more, I think.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed that one. So, I mean, like I said, this isn't terrible, but okay. So going to the nanite thing to answer that question while you're looking this up real quick. The nanites were in his pills that he was taking for his anti-anxiety medication. Like when he was taking it. So it turns out his ex-fiance, was the one that he went to for help for the pills. And she was the one giving him the pills that were putting the nanites in his head.
It sounded like it was because he didn't want like a record.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, he didn't want anybody to know he was taking the medication. So she was like,
and she was
supposedly
a nurse
giving him medication that was from a supplier. It was like a whole thing. But she had like a cabin that they went to, and she had like a secret underground bunker built into this cabin that supposedly the super spy didn't know anything about.
So he finds out, that she's another lady in his life that is
every woman
a total
in his life
liar
except for
and
his
like
mom,
completely manipulating him and lying about their relationship and everything. And I think the messed up part actually about that is that at some point she was like, are you ready to be honest or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, she did that to him multiple times. Like, if you can be real with me, we can, we can
be in a
actually have a
relationship,
relationship.
yeah.
Our relationship would have worked out if you were telling me the truth. Like, it was,
And then you
the
go and find
manipulation
out.
was so freaking bad in this show. I mean, like, anything about the guy. So he was super loyal. So they used that against him. Like, they staged people in his life to have conversations with him to try and get his line of thinking where they wanted it and stuff like that. I mean, they manipulated everything about this guy.
Wow.
And like, he's not doing anything except for trying to serve his country. And his country is just like, "Yeah, take that." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, through the whole thing, everybody's just like fucking this guy over. And they gave the kill order for him twice. They're like, fuck him, just kill him.
Right.
Well, and to be fair, I feel like when they first addressed this with him and said, like, we need you to act like you don't know that this is happening, they said, we're going to stage, like we're going to stage your life. Like, we're going to put in front of you what we want them to see. Right. So they kind of said it, but it was still really messed up.
Yeah, but that
Because,
was,
like,
that
they-
was even part of the manipulation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because they were like, you got to do the thing that your country needs you to do and
Right.
do this. You
That's
know what I mean?
valid.
It was like, so it was pretty bad on that part. Like, it was like, holy crap. And I mean, I don't know how many people focus on that part of the show, but to me, it just like, it stood out. It bothered me. It was like, holy crap. Like, it's just like everything, there's nothing real to him whatsoever. And then when he was taking a stand on his own, and whatever, when you knew he was up to something or whatever, because that's every spy movie ever, it was just so obvious. Like, the
Right.
whole thing was so obvious, and it was just, so, I mean, it was okay.
Yeah. I would say
Um,
I like the concept of the show more than the actual execution.
Yeah. Like I said, it could have been a great movie, like a short movie, like a 2-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie or something that would have been much better. But I mean, they're on to season 2. They left you right for a cliffhanger on how they're going to roll this into going forward and stuff like that. And the fact that he's okay with these people, because he finds out everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just okay with everything that he just went through and everything that they did to him and all the manipulation and everything. He's like, okay. And it's just like,
Maybe he'll be like a robot in season 2.
maybe he'll get the nanites. Well, the nanites were killing him too.
Yeah.
So,
And
for 3 or 4 episodes of the show, he's fighting headaches and,
Yep.
having
like,
episodes.
Oh my God, maybe I have nanites.
You might. And then at the end, they give him like, because you can, even though he does survive this miraculously, because anybody who has ever like had these in them have died after a
good.
certain number of time, right? And they kind of make it so that he dies, but then he survives it somehow
Right,
miraculously.
right.
And they give him a watch where he can turn it on and off now for the second season, I think is what that's for.
Yeah, he can just turn on the broadcast and turn off the broadcast, but that's not going to be super obvious to the people that are watching through the broadcast. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I was confused by that too, because it didn't seem like they were giving him the watch because they expected.
What are they going to do? Like call him and be like, hey, turn yourself back on.
Right.
Yeah, they can't text him or call him because then they would know, you know what I mean? So, but no, so I mean, it's like, it's not a plausible thing, you know what I mean? Like, they actually could have gone a different route with even how the technology, because I mean, he would go in the basement of a church and all of a sudden the signal would be broke. He would go in the subway and the subway would like black out for 30 seconds and he kept riding the same train. And at the same point of the train, the subway would black out for 30 seconds. And him and the Michelle character, which is the most manipulative woman in the show, she's, sitting there like really close to him and stuff like that, like trying to have heart to hearts with him for like 30 seconds before the camera kicks back on, and then she's just playing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So she's playing his girlfriend who's secretly really in love with him, but is not in love with him at all. You know what I mean? It's like this whole weird little
It is
manipulation thing that
I never
they were
really
doing to him.
thought about that as much too. That the fact that they're staging a relationship, but then when he's not broadcasting or something interrupts the signal or whatever, she's pretending to really like him beyond this fake relationship, which is also a manipulation.
Yeah, there's just levels and levels of manipulation in this show.
So she
And it's
doesn't
like,
really like him, or isn't?
at the end they make
Yeah.
it seem like she might actually be.
Yeah. But who knows if it's for real?
Right.
Who's paying her to manipulate him?
She works
works-
for the
yeah.
CIA and different government agencies as like a sleeper cell, like a separate person.
Okay.
So she went to the orphanage because she was like excommunicated from the CIA. So she went to them to try and work for them. And she didn't tell them that she was actually the girl in the jungle and he knew who she was.
Oh, okay.
So
Hmm.
she just shows up as a bartender, but it's all staged.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
yeah. And the great life advice she gives him as a bartender. And he's like, you're really good at your job. And she's like, I know. And then they flash and they're like, had the whole conversation prior to that of what she was going to say and how she was going to say it and why she was going to manipulate him by using his parents' love for him. And the, you know, like, it was just like, God, this is fucked up. Like, it's like, so, I mean, I guess like that was my focal point on the whole thing because there's not a lot of action.
That's valid. Yeah.
For a spy thriller and stuff like that, there's not a lot of action.
I would agree with that.
For having him as a martial artist and stuff like that in the lead and stuff like that, he's not very good at anything he does. There's like one little fight scene where he takes out two guys that are trying to take him, and that's like the biggest thing, you know. But yeah,
I was going to say the art or the art for the show that I saw has him like showing off his gun everywhere.
He's also in a movie right here is called Head Games. I feel like that's a better title.
Yeah,
Head Games. Well, that's John Krasinski. Not.
What is the Amazon show with John Krasinski, by the way?
That's Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan.
Okay, that's what I thought.
should have remembered that too.
Okay,
I was just going to point out that was like a crazy transition for me to.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no. Just like when John Krasinski went from The Office to Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
He's like super not serious to super incredibly serious.
That's what gets to happen when you start directing your own movies.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Cut
true.
my part out. My bad.
No, it's okay.
I just seen that sitting here. I was like,
This might be a sidebar, but do you think it's better when, like, you know, an actor or actress has like a signature role, like that is what they do in all of their like shows or movies that they do? Or do you
Typecasted, you mean?
Yeah, like typecasted, because, you know, I feel like some actors and actresses, like you were saying, like that was a completely different role.
Right.
You know, so I think it's more impressive when they have that range, but I also think it's nice when like you're going to a movie because you like the character they play, you know, so you know what to expect, kind of like.
So like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah.
Like
Liam
you knew
Neeson.
what you were getting.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is better, you know.
Liam Neeson has some range. I mean, yeah, he does have his little genre of stuff, you know, where he just does his like action movies like Taken and the Ice Road Trucker movie or whatever he did, you know. But like when he was in Naked Gun, he's hilarious.
how about Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the rom-com kind of action-y rom-com guy for a long time, you know.
I was just going to say the actor that does Billy in Stranger Things. How do you pronounce his name? Dockeray?
Yeah.
Dockeray? Montgomery. I've heard people say that he's pretty versatile. Like he's all over the place with his acting.
Yeah, he was the Red Ranger.
Right. Yep.
I think it's more impressive when you can do different roles.
I think different actors have different specialties for sure. Some are really versatile. Some are really good at being the hero or being the villain.
Yeah.
Or being the old guy that's always yelling at that kid or whatever. Like, I think
that'd be my role.
Okay.
Yelling at the kids.
Get off my
Get
lawn.
off my lawn. Damn Gen Alpha.
The way you
Gran
just said that
Torino.
reminded me of Adam Sandler. Half the guys that he has in his movies are like pretty similar roles.
Yeah.
Who's in Gran Torino?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had one range.
Right.
Clint Eastwood, he did. And I mean, he was very successful with that.
Right.
And, but there's like, I think Morgan Freeman's pretty much
That's
across
true.
one level there, you know what I mean? But even when he's the villain or something, he's just the smarter, well-spoken guy. It's not like going to be like an action movie, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
I think he's interesting because I feel like he's kind of done different roles, though, depending on what age he is in the movie. Like the more modern movies now, like, yeah, obviously he's like the old wise guy that's like the head of some company that you can't find, or and then he comes out of nowhere and it's like,
Jason
told you
Statham.
so, or whatever.
Jason Statham, working man, mailman, boxing man, just like whatever job title you want to come up with, man.
Milkman.
The beekeeper, it's like
It's valid.
So but he actually, like when he started out, or when I first started seeing him, it like other than his dancing and music videos thing. Have you ever seen that?
No.
If you can find that clip of when he was dancing in a music video in the 90s in like a Speedo in the background, like it's hilarious. You like look that up. But
life-changing.
he was in like Guy Ritchie movies at the start, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and things like, and that was not the same. He wasn't the same type of role in that. He's more of like an anecdote-y, smart ass type person and stuff like that in those movies. And then the Transporter is what kind of made that staple of what a Jason Statham's going to become.
The Italian Job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't think of what movies that they are. There's a 1 and 2.
Well, that narrows it down.
Jason Statham?
Yeah.
Oh, specifically his movies.
Yeah.
There's like 3 Transporters or 4 Transporters.
It's not the Transporter. Can you Google? The one where he gets like stabbed with like the epinephrine or whatever.
Crank.
Yes, there we
go.
There we go. Like I know it's like something.
And that was a good combination. That's
Very
almost like
short
that's like a combination between the Guy Ritchie movies and then his action movies. Because like he gets in a ton of fights and gunfights and stuff in those too. But he's got that crazy anecdote-y, funny kind of sidebar thing going on.
There is a 1 and 2 with that, right?
Yes.
Yep. I don't think I ever saw them, but I do remember there being.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw those either.
That's must watch for people. Crank is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid, campy action movie. So like you've got to be prepared for that going into it. It's not going to win an Academy Award, if you're talking about Simu Lee being typecasted, like I expected to see some action based off of, his previous roles. I think that was the point of all this.
Right.
But
well, I was mostly asking because of Clancy. What did you say his name was?
Who?
John Krasinski?
Oh, Krasinski.
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan.
Okay. Yeah.
What would you give this show a score out of 10?
6. Like I'm not going to ever go back and watch it again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's
an okay watch.
Are you watching season 2?
And there hasn't.
Out yet.
Season 1 literally came out like a couple weeks ago. Like this is a brand new show on Peacock. So,
will you watch season 2?
I don't know. It depends on like if there's nothing on, maybe. Like it didn't captivate me. Like I said, it could have just very easily been a movie. And I know that there's a lot of things out there like that. There's definitely some like Marvel TV show and Disney, Star Wars TV shows that could have been a movie. Like the Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie that's coming out. I'm like, good. I don't really need to wait a week to watch 15 episodes of, The Mandalorian. Like one movie would just be good. I'd be happy with that, So I think that they might have learned a lesson with something like that. Like, and this is way off topic, but Andor gets a ton of praise. And the first season was good, but it's so long. Yeah. And there's so much filler in it, and it's just like, man, I get it, but like, I don't care about half of these people, and like them showing us 10 fucking episodes of the one counselor's family and her daughter not liking her and her husband being just a rich boy that doesn't give a shit about her. I didn't need any of that. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like I can't even remember her name. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it just didn't need to be all of that. And it's just so much filler. Like, I don't know. Some TV shows like, things that I used to watch all the time that were like along this lines were like Chuck. It was good. There was different things going on all the time. There was enough of the cast that you actually liked where you could bring in different stories and do different stuff. And, they might have went a little too many seasons with it, but this is kind of like those same kind of things. Did you guys ever watch Chuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Okay. So basically Chuck was a guy that worked at like a Best Buy and he was nerd herd, you know, and they called it, or that's what they called it on the show, was nerd herd. It was Geek Squad, but it was nerd herd on the show. Okay. And his friend from college who turned out to be a spy, like embeds images in his head and he gets all these flashes and it turns him into a spy. Like he's just basically like a human supercomputer. And I don't remember if it's the CIA is one person and the FBI is the other person, the antagonists in the first few episodes. They all end up becoming one cohesive unit under some general. And they use his brain to like go into rooms and he might see a person or an artifact or something like that. He gets all these flashes in his head and all of a sudden he knows the whole story, where it came from and all this stuff. And then like season 2, his program gets updated. Now he knows martial arts and he can do different things like that, you know, and he's actually trying to become a spy. And then, you know, and they branch off and they do different things like that. This is not that. It's just, you know what I mean? That was a half-hour episode once a week. And this was hours of just, okay.
Well, what's your favorite spy movie?
Spy movie?
Mm-hmm.
Or show?
That's tough. Because, like, I like the Bourne movies a ton.
Yeah.
Everything was very practical. Like, he actually did all the martial arts. He did all the driving and stuff like that. But it's another one I didn't need 7 movies of.
I love the Jason Bourne meme. Like, somebody does something dumb and they're like, God damn it, that's Jason Bourne.
I don't know that one.
No?
No.
I don't think I've seen
I have to
anything.
look that up, too.
I know which one you're talking about.
I mean, I like the Mission Impossible movies, too.
That's Jason Bourne.
A lot of people don't like Tom Cruise.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. Yeah.
So I don't know. It would have to be probably one of those 2 movie franchises for best spy thriller that I can think of right off the top of my head. I might come back next week, you know, with something totally different because I actually had a chance to think about it. Let us know, you know, what do you guys suggest out there that's, you know, spy thrillers and on that topic. And if you tell me something to watch, I will definitely check it out if I haven't already seen it, you know. So, but yeah, and then like TV shows like that, Jack Ryan was great. Reacher was good. I liked Reacher.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie with Bill Murray called The Man Who Knew Too Little?
Yes.
It's my favorite spy movie. He's accidentally a spy. It's ridiculous.
Oh man, there's a bunch of those too. Campy, like, funny spy movies and stuff.
What do you mean by campy? I don't know if I've heard that.
Like it's just supposed to be funny, but it's like over the top humor. Like Naked Gun is campy humor.
It's ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's stupid humor. They call it campy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
Not so much slapstick, but like just everything kind of falling right into place for this guy.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Gotcha.
So that's my Copenhagen Test thing plus.
Plus. Yep.
Yeah. So again,
Let us know if you've watched it. What
Yeah.
you think?
I'm sure a lot of people are not going to agree with me, like based on reviews. And I've talked to a couple other people, and like the show's actually been recommended to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm already done with it.
It has
know.
gotten pretty good reviews.
Yeah, it has. Like it's already been greenlit for season 2, and the way they led into it, I'm like, okay, that was super freaking obvious. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe everybody doesn't watch as much TV and movies as I do, and like some of the twists and stuff like that will be less obvious, you know. And I'm not saying I'm smarter than anybody. I'm just saying I watch a lot of television. You know, that's all that is. I am not saying I'm more intelligent than anybody.
I mean, I haven't watched all that much movie, and I wasn't that impressed with it either. I'd probably give it a 6.
Okay.
And I think it was really interesting what they chose to focus on. Like the whole manipulation thing was a huge part of it. There was a huge like aspect of like culture in it that I don't.
Oh, I did want to touch on. I had it in my notes and I didn't say it. So there's one woman in the show, okay, other than his mother, that seems like she's redeemable. Like she has good qualities and she's a good person and stuff like that. And she has like Alzheimer's. Okay. And you come to find out that she's one of the people that started the orphanage.
Yeah.
So it's like, God damn it. It's like every woman in this show sucks. You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, like she seems like you feel bad for her instantly because she forgets something, you know, and she's like in this relationship and you're like, oh, you know, why do they have to bring that up? And then there's one episode she's like, did we build all this? And she's standing in the orphanage, and the other lady's like, yes, we did. I'm like, God damn it.
I'd probably watch season 2 though, just because we've already invested in the first season. Might as
Yeah,
well
we've
see.
invested some time.
And
so.
I'm curious if the second season will have a little different focus. I wonder if there will still be the manipulation and all of that.
Oh, I hope this Michelle girl that's like his not girlfriend now, like totally fucks with him the whole next season too. Like just
You hope she does?
yeah, I hope she does. I hope she's just a piece of shit through the rest of it. Like be consistent. Like,
Or maybe it's like it switches to just guys manipulating him.
yeah. Well, there was one guy that was in charge, that was
Yeah.
like telling these people that, and he's the one that he's like, confirm that you understand that you have the kill order. That was his big role in it.
Right.
It's like, so I should let you get to your topics. Board games.
So I was talking to Matt about the topic of board games, and he was like, well, are they board games if they don't have a board? So I looked it up. Anybody know what they're called if it doesn't have a board?
Non-board game.
Card games.
Card games. Yeah, because he was mentioned that. So they're either
Does it
called,
say on the box?
well, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Is it a box game?
It's a box
Oh my
game.
gosh.
It's either-
Wait, I have a better transition. Tiny Laser Heist. That's spy-ish.
Ooh, yeah.
Speaking of spy thrillers,
Well, what do you know? So we are going to talk about some board games. I guess boxed games, I should say. I really love boxed games, and
Don't we all?
Boxed games.
so we're going to talk about a few of them. If you enjoy box games, board games, card games, we're going to go over some that you might want to try because they turned out to be a little bit fun. So we're going to start with one that is called Incoherent. This was a favorite. Incoherent. So I'm going to go over a few things with each of the games. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about it and what ratings I would give it. This is not like a general, this is just my assessment of it. This, as far as like difficulty level, this was a super easy game. The concept is you have a card that has some gibberish on it, and you try to say the word and figure out what it's saying on the card. And it's usually like a phrase.
since you have a prop, we could open that and show them a card.
Sure thing. All right. So
There's 3 categories to this game as well. So
you have,
Pick a dirty one.
you have pop culture, spicy, and party. So we have my one complaint about the game is we went through these cards pretty quick, I would say. So it'd be nice if there were, I think if you could have like an app where you had like unlimited, like if this was an app version, I
They
think
would
that
sell it
Yeah. Right.
because we'd buy it.
Okay. So are we showing this?
Sure. There you go.
All right. There you go. All right. So now,
you read it.
I have to read it, but I
Yeah.
already read the back.
Okay. So, stick at tins, hide, tough me. So when you say it like that, it's kind of rough. But then if you go stick at tins, hide, tough me,
Can you tell what he's saying?
Stick it inside of me.
stick it inside of me.
Very good. So you're working on a team and you are saying this and the other person's trying to guess what phrase you're saying, and it tells you on the back. So obviously the other team kind of knows what it is. They have hints for you. So for example, the hint on this one is request to go in. So we really had a good time with this game. We've played it multiple times and it has been enjoyable every time. So
Favorite game.
yeah, this one's definitely a good one. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
What would you improve, Virginia?
More cards.
More cards.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's about it. I really enjoyed it, and it's they have had other games that are the similar concept, but I really enjoyed it. So
just so everybody knows, we have one random joke in between all of us where I kind of look off into the distance and say the metaverse, because that's what I was doing when I was trying to read the card and say the metaverse. So if you ever see us do that or anything on here, which I think I've already done in one of the previous podcasts, that's actually
like
where the
4 of them. But yeah,
that's where the joke comes from. So
Yeah.
Feel free to laugh at Matt.
yeah,
Yeah, it said dumb head hovers, I think, right?
Tom Head hovers.
Dumb head hovers. It's pretty fun. Give it a try.
Well, we've played that game so many times.
That's
twice.
true.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was way more than twice.
I think it's more than twice too. All right, next up we have the game Chameleon. Chameleon.
I'm loving this. Virginia's going to be a hand model next.
The Chameleon. All right. This game, I don't think we have ever played together.
No.
No,
Correct.
I don't
But this
think
is
so.
one of my favorites. As far as difficulty level, I would say it's medium. Not that it's complicated, but it starts out, if you have never played it before, it is a little bit confusing because you have to figure out what the card is showing. You get a card and it has, I don't know if you can zoom in on this too. So it looks complicated when you look at it. There's 2 die and you have to roll both of them to figure out basically where you're at. So the first die is just a number, and then you have a die that has like whatever this is rolled, you end up getting this like a letter and a number combination. And then once you have that, you have a topic card. And the whole point of figuring out what that letter and number combination is so that you can figure out what you're looking at on this card. So that's the most complicated part about it. Once you do it a couple times, it's really pretty easy. And then these topic cards basically give you, a category like school. And then it gives you a bunch of different like topics about school. And once you know that, so this is a game I've referenced on the podcast as well. That is very similar to, I think it's called Party. What is the Netflix game I talked about? Party Crashers, I think.
I think it's Party Crash or something like that.
Yeah, Party Crashers is similar to this, where you're trying to figure out who is the chameleon, the one blending in, because the chameleon card just says try to come up with like something that's in general. So then every single person goes around and gives a clue as to what the word is, and the others have to like the chameleon obviously has to try to blend in, even though they have no clue what it is. But obviously they're going to say something about school. So depending on who you're playing with, it can be a really fun game. Because if you have somebody that you don't want to be too general and you don't want to be too specific, because then if you're too specific, the person catches on really easily. And then obviously they can get away with being the chameleon. And if you're too broad, then you can be broad. A lot of people, different strategies work for different people, I guess. But it was a really fun game. It's like I said, you could play a very similar game on Netflix and not have the complicated part of figuring out what your number and letter combination is. I rated this game an 8. Mostly because it is really fun, but I think it really is dependent on who you're playing with. Like if you play with, for example, like a bunch of kids, they're very extreme in their answers. And so if they're too specific, it's like, exactly what it is. Or they get like so far out there that you're like, what, even the people that know what the word is, they're like, what does that have to do with this?
Right.
So it's an interesting game. It's worth a try. Like I said, there's Party Crashers is another one that's similar to this. And also, I can never remember what Among Us is very similar to the kind of concept of like guessing who the secret person is. So if you're interested in that, if you like that kind of game, this one is a good pick.
I give that one a 4.
Did you played that, right?
Yeah.
And
it may be because I played it with you and your kids.
That very well could be.
And then Claire, who gave 0 fucks about the game. So it was not enjoyable. And
Matt
then
gives it a 4.
I give it a 4. Yeah, it was-
I really think it can be fun.
I
depending on
will
who you
sit
play with.
there like if the topic's school and I'll be has to do with the school.
Like
Like,
your
that's
word, your
my-
clue is
yeah,
school.
that's my clue. I'm not going to give you, like if it's a pencil, I'm not going to give you anything. You know what I mean? It's a school supply. You
Right.
know,
It's yellow.
I think it's interesting when you have somebody that's really usually very specific, and then when they get the chameleon card, they're like, "What do I do now?" Because I've been so specific the whole time.
or they
like,
try and
it's
be
very
smart,
obvious
and
that
there's
they're the
like
chameleon.
one thing that goes in the water, and there's one thing that goes in the water, and everybody's giving a clue about something that goes in the water, like an animal,
Mhm.
like a fish or something, and everything else is a mammal. And that person just gives a very specific clue, like it has tusks. You know what I mean? Because that's Dylan. So.
Yeah.
So it was a little rough. And like she said, it may be the context of who we played the game with and stuff like that. But it was just, and having to explain every time somebody gives a clue, like you weren't supposed to give the exact clue away so that the person that's the chameleon knows what the clue is. So,
Do you think you'd try it again if you had a different group? Would you give it
Maybe.
another try? Or no?
I didn't think the concept of it's even that great. Like I didn't like Among Us or anything like that either. So
How did you feel about Party Crashers?
it's that game. I mean, it's the exact same game. It just doesn't have the codex to be able to figure out what the clue is because they tell you that you're the imposter and tell you what picture you're supposed to give a clue to.
Yeah.
So it simplifies it more in the Netflix version versus that.
This one, I'm curious what Matt would give this one as the rating. This game is called Racco. That's the game. As far as difficulty level, this is one of the easiest games I think you could play. It's a very, very simple concept. You have a place where you keep your cards, and then you end up pulling them, stacking them in an order, like in the order that you receive them, you put them in the slots. And then the whole idea is you need to put them in order from least to greatest. And so the way that you do that is you go around, pull a card, and if you want to replace one of your cards, then you can discard the other one. The next person can pick that up. And the whole point is you're trying to get that number sequence. Again, super simple. My family has really enjoyed it. So I gave it an 8. And part of that could also be that I'm a teacher, so I feel like it's a decent learning game too. But it can be really fun. Again, it's super simple. So yeah, what would you give it?
There's a little tiny bit of strategy to the game.
Yes, that's
So
valid.
like if you're at the beginning of your rack and you've got a 40, because the cards are numbered 1 through 60. So if you've got a card in front of you and it's in your number 1 slot, you have to have a low number there. So obviously you have to swap out that card. So like if you have a 50 in your number 1 slot, you obviously want to get rid of that very quickly. But you don't want to give it, because you get a 25, you don't want to put a 25 there because 25 is more toward the middle. So you want to start trying to work, your middle numbers into your middle of your rack and the higher numbers at the end. You also have to watch what cards have been played.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen every card between 42 and 47 played, and you're going to be looking for that number based off of the cards you chose, you have to very quickly change your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit of memory. There's a little bit of thing to it. I think it's dumb, but I mean, as far as actually having some skill involved and stuff like that, maybe like a 6.
You'd give it a 6.
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah. I mean, I've played it because you guys enjoy it and stuff like that, but it's nothing. I would never buy it.
Yeah. It is a very simple game, I will say.
But there is some strategy to it. So.
Yeah. If you've young kids and you're trying to do something fun, but also teach them like number order, I think it's a pretty solid game. And then we have this game here, which we have played several times.
Only twice.
Only twice?
Matt.
I was
All right.
blackout drunk the other times. I don't know.
All right. This game here is called Blank Slate. That's the one. So, very simple game. Again, difficulty level is easy. Basically, you have a card that says a word and a blank, or you have the cards that say a blank and then a word. So let's look at some examples here. for example, you might have this card here. Oh, which one? Right here. That says write blank.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. And so everybody has a slate where they can write a word that they think could go there. So for example, you could have right turn. What else? Right angle.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now. Whatever phrase you think goes with that. And then what happens is everybody at the end of the round reveals their card. And the goal is to have a match with one other person. If you have a match with one other person, you get 3 points. And if you match with more than that, you get 1 point. Everybody that does that gets 1 point. And then if you don't match with anybody, then you get 0 points. And then you just basically do that until the first person gets 25 points. Again, super, super simple. I've played this with lots of different groups, and it seems to really be a hit. I think everyone usually pretty much enjoys it. This is definitely a good one. I gave this one 10. I gave it a 9.
Oh.
You know what I realized? I put a 10 for incoherent, and I said 9.
See, all right, they're both 10s.
Okay, they're both 10s. Fine. You convinced me.
I would say 10 for blank slate because we have
Anybody can play it.
Yeah, we
That's
haven't
true.
found any one of our groups of friends that like couldn't figure it out and pick it up and play and actually have like a good time with it.
Yeah, that's
a good
valid.
one.
Yeah.
Well, we could give it a 9 because if it's a huge group and there's not enough blank slates.
Yeah.
You can find a reason to give anything a 9.
Yeah, since there's not enough cards for you over there.
Yeah. It is a good one. So you guys are persuading me to change my answer, my ratings that easily.
Definitely the top 2 games that
Yeah.
we've played last year. Incoherent and blank slate.
I would
For
agree.
sure.
So, and then the last game that I was going to bring up, which was just new for, you had never played that before, right? Pandemic?
No.
So this was a new game for us. A friend of ours, I don't have it to show you because it was a friend of ours that we played with. And I would say the difficulty level would be hard. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, to learn. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot of nuances.
And I think this came out when COVID happened and everything, but essentially you are trying to prevent a pandemic. And there are a lot of, it's really interesting how the game sets up you start with some illness on the board and it's a map and you're trying to conquer this in different ways. And again, you have certain actions you can take on every turn. And I think it's just a lot to remember what each of the things mean and the different actions you can take and all of that. I would, if I had to compare it with something, it's maybe like Risk, where you're trying, Risk, you're trying to take over the board. This is you're trying to eliminate the pandemic.
Difference is that Risk is opponent based. You play against
Yes.
everybody. This is 100% cooperative. So you
Yes.
are working as a unit to try and do something.
Yeah. So it's either the pandemic wins or you as a team win. It was just a really interesting concept. And I think the challenge of trying to, we played it
4 times.
4 times before we beat the pandemic. So, and it was more like, I think after we played it a couple times, even the first one and the pandemic one, we were like, okay, now that we've understood it, we understand. I would say like you have to play the game once before you really can like get into it. Cause I think the first time you play it, you're trying to figure out exactly
we
what
also
the
set it
actions
up
were.
on the easiest difficulty. So there's 3 different difficulties
That's
that
true.
you can set it up on. So when you're shuffling your cards together and you get like a outbreak card, and that outbreak card says basically that, the pandemic has spread. So you have to pick a city and then it's very, it's almost cumbersome. There's all these little
Yes.
tiny pieces and you have to keep trying to put them on the map
Mhm.
and keep track of what they're doing and how you spread it out and stuff like that. And
Sometimes you pull the top card. Sometimes you pull the bottom card.
yeah, it's very, when I say nuances to the game, like trying to remember how you do every single little step, like if you get 3 pieces in one city and then you have to hit that city again, you get like an outbreak. So it goes to every city connecting to it.
Mhm.
And then if that city has 3 pieces on it, then that goes to an outbreak from that, and it goes to every city from there. And you got these little tiny squares that you're trying to put on each one of these cities on this map. And then when you run out of those, you lose. That's
Yeah.
that's one of the 3 ways that you can lose the game.
If you have too many outbreaks, you lose.
You spend more time doing that than you do actually playing the game.
That's true.
So
It's not a rapid fire game where because you
Right.
have to be like, oh yeah, now I need to draw two however many
2
cards.
cards or 3 cards, depending on the level
Yeah.
of the pandemic and different things like that. And it's just, I don't know. It is a lot. And like I said, there's a lot of teeny tiny little pieces that you have to keep track of and move on and off the board. And so setup and playing, it's not super user friendly.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I was going to say, I was sitting here just listening to you describe it. I was like, I know I've played this game before. Where was I at? Where was I playing this game at? Who was I with playing it? I think I was playing this on Tabletop Simulator, if you've ever heard of that. It's on Steam, PC. Somebody had like a digital copy of Pandemic, and I was playing with my friends, and I was like, wow, this is very meta of us playing a pandemic game, and because it was definitely during the middle of pandemic.
Yeah.
That's why we were all on our computers at the time.
I think that would be a little more user friendly to do it on like an online platform.
Yeah. I was going to say, because, yeah, just remembering all these things, I was like, I don't remember this being so tedious to deal with all these pieces. This is why.
Yeah. So like, I mean, sometimes you obsolete a city, sometimes the city gets shuffled back in and gets put on top of the deck. So like if you got like 6 cards sitting here and you get an outbreak card, or whatever it's called, you have to immediately shuffle those cards together and then put them back on top of the deck. So those 5 cities are instantly getting hit again.
Right.
So then you're fighting the outbreak even faster. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to constantly be aware of that. I mean, this is not a little kid's game at
No,
all. At all. I mean, there's a ton of strategy to it, and we don't even know when we beat it if we did it right. We kind of took like the way the one, because everybody's assigned a job, and the way the one job was assigned, I'm like, that's a cheat code.
Right.
And we kept just manipulating that rule in the game, and that's how we ended up beating it. I'm like, if you get that card, you could win every single time. If you don't get that card, then I don't even know if you could beat the game. So I'm like, I don't know if we're playing right, because it probably shouldn't be like that, Right. But it's one of those ones you have to have the right people. It's like playing Risk. You have to have the right people in the room to make it somewhat enjoyable. So, I mean, for that fact, probably like a 7.
Because you had such good people in the room playing with you.
No, I mean, just because it is skill based, it takes some thought.
True.
It's not just redundant, the same thing over and over and over again, because it changes every time you play it and stuff. So
You said a 7.
yeah,
That's what I gave it.
I give it like a 7.
I gave it a 7 too. Mostly because I liked the challenge of it. Like,
Yeah.
it made me want to play again, to be like, no, we got it this time.
So, and I played a PC game that was the opposite. You were the virus and you were trying to spread, and everybody,
I think I've seen that.
the computer was actually trying to beat you. It was like trying to research and stuff, and you could keep taking your virus and make it worse. You could,
another mutation.
Yeah, you could take points and put it into mutating the virus. You could take points and mutating the way it affects the body.
Right.
And eventually you could make it, as soon as they breathed it in, like that was the best way to give it to people. It would attack their heart and lungs, and then like the mortality rates would drop faster and stuff like that, but it was crazy because, you'd kill 7.5 million people if you want, so it's like,
7.5
billion people. Yeah. Billion people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like this, but it was very easy because it was on the computer, and the computer was doing all those difficult things of placing things in the right place. And, when you made a change, it manipulated it on its own, and it gave you the odds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm finding that maybe it's an age thing, but when I can see like a game like even Boggle, for example, that's on like has an online setup, and like I could see Pandemic as an online setup would be so much more enjoyable, just because it is frustrating, like trying to do all the setup. And like the other way that you can make pandemic more complicated is adding more of the, what is it called?
The outbreak cards.
Outbreak
or whatever it was,
cards. Yeah. So we played with what? 4. And
Which
you
is
can
the
have up
minimum.
to 6. And obviously the more that happens, the
harder the game gets.
the harder the game gets. Yeah. And even that, like you were saying, explaining the setup, even that was complicated because you had to make 4 different piles, shuffle in a pandemic card to each of them because they didn't want it to all be like right at the top or whatever. So it's, you know, so you can spread them out or whatever. And then you just still put them all
And the number
together.
of cards you get based on the number of people are playing changes. And, you know, it's
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of,
it's, you know, like the computer games that are online where you like, you know, Townville, you
Mhm.
buy something.
Farmville.
Yeah. And things like that. So, you know, you plant crop and then eventually that rises up and you've got to swipe it to bring it over here to, you know, feed your cows who produce milk, you know, and
I think you're going to be making fun of our next topic, but maybe.
we're leading into something else. So I'll leave it alone. So,
But I do enjoy all of the games that we play on TV with Jackbox games.
Yeah, Jackbox games are another really good one.
Makes it very easy, simple to just scan the QR code and we can all play the same game as a group.
Yeah. Most of
without
those are
the
fun.
setup.
Right.
Yeah. Most of those are fun. And there's such a large variety with that. Like we can sit there and play a game 2 or 3 times, be like, oh, okay, let's just switch to the next one. You know what I mean? And nobody had to move, nobody had to go get anything. So yeah, we're getting lazy. I mean, it's
convenient.
It's like the, you know, pretty soon, like we said with Idiocracy, you know, where our bed's going to be our toilet. You know, we're just going to sit and be like, I need to poop now.
Oh God, that's going to be a real. You did that.
Well, so that does it for the games this time. However, we are going to give a little shout out to, what is this game called?
Tiny Laser Heist.
Tiny Laser Heist.
Tiny Laser Heist. Hello. I did not play it with this group, but
to be reviewed by Virginia.
Yeah, once I play it, we'll definitely review that one. And here's a little taste of what you'll be getting. So, and now on to trivia. All right, I don't know if this is allowed, but I did it anyway. So I'm going to give a little extra trivia questions to get you guys warmed up. So this is not the official ones. It's just to see if you know these ones. Okay. Because I looked at them up and I was like, oh, these are fun ones. So what do you think is the most popular? I'm going to call them board games, but you know what I'm talking about. They might not have a board. What is the most popular board game as far as most sold?
Scrabble.
Good guess. It's up there, but that's not it.
Bingo.
It's not bingo.
Sorry.
Not sorry, but that was another one that was mentioned a lot.
I want to say Monopoly just because that's old.
That's what I thought it was.
School.
It's the second most sold.
Clue.
It was not Clue.
Life.
That was up there. Life was another one that was on there, but not that. This one I felt like was a little unfair.
Are they actually all board games? Are we talking about board games or it's like Cards Against Humanity?
They mentioned apples to apples on there, but this is like, it's like when you say what's the most popular book.
What is
it's the Bible. That's what this is like.
Geez.
So what's the most popular game?
What is the?
Because I thought of Monopoly.
What is the year range? I feel like that matters.
Like ever, the most that's ever sold.
Twister.
No, but I have another trivia question for you with Twister. Okay, you ready for
I
it?
keep reading you guys' lead-ins today.
You ready
I'm
for
using
it?
that Alysha intelligence and
I'll give you.
shit out ahead.
I'll give you one more clue before I move on. Matt should know it
Star Wars Monopoly.
If I have that.
because you're studying it.
I'm studying it.
Yeah,
Chess?
it's chess. Yeah. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I saw the answer too, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I guess.
checkers,
It is.
chess. Yeah.
Yeah, a board
Backgammon?
game.
Anybody know what that is?
Yes.
Backgammon?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Played it once. Never liked it.
All right, second warm up.
You don't like moving dots to triangles?
I like chess better.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Virginia.
Okay, second warm up. How many circles are on a Twister mat?
Are you looking at a
not
picture of it?
Is it 24?
You got to guess.
36. Like 2 rows of each color or 1 row of each color?
There's one row of each color.
Then it probably is like 24.
It's 24.
I was going to guess 25, but yeah.
Very nice. All right.
Good job, Luke.
And the last warm-up one, just because I thought this was funny, and I don't actually think I would have gotten this one right. What is the name of the patient in operation?
Oh, no. I did know this before.
Not a clue.
Sam.
Jack.
Did you say Sam?
Yeah.
Okay. Now give the adjective that goes in front of him.
Sick Sam?
The adjective?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really not an adjective. I guess it's more of a noun. But
Surgery Sam?
you're on the right track. You ready for it?
Sedated.
Sedated.
I don't know.
Any more guesses, or you want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
Cavity Sam.
Cavity?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because they're doing a cavity search?
I guess.
'Cause you're
Has
pulling
cavities
stuff out
out
of
of the
his
cavity.
cavities.
Yeah.
That's where my anxiety started, was with the game Operation. Definitely.
Cavity Sam.
I did
Okay.
not like that game.
I get 50% credit for that.
Nice.
It was.
We'll
I'll
give it to you.
That's right.
Yeah. You can have that one.
All right. Feeling warmed up?
Should I play the trivia music again?
Sure.
Okay, here we
For
go.
real this time.
I go.
All right. Your trivia question is, how long did the longest Monopoly game last? Like ever played? How long did the longest Monopoly game ever played last?
We'll find out.
Let's think on that one.
One podcast break later. We'll be back. Support for Mamalukes is brought to you by Aspire Drinks. Looking for an energy drink that doesn't give you jitters and that inevitable crash? Aspire is redefining energy drinks with a better, healthier way to power your day. Unlike most energy drinks that are loaded with excessive caffeine and sugar, Aspire delivers a gentle, balanced boost with 80 milligrams of natural caffeine, half the caffeine of most leading energy drinks. Packed with essential vitamins and enhanced with biotin and ginger, the benefits are a no-brainer. They're enjoyable for any moment, at work, the gym, or on the go. Order now with free U.S. shipping. Find them at aspiredrinks.com and use our promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off anything on your order. That's aspiredrinks.com and promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off your order. Welcome back. It's time for Sportsball.
Sportsball. All right. For those of you that are watching this, when the Sportsball graphic shows up, what is on the left-hand side of that? And see if I'm not the only one that's ancient.
Oh, we're doing trivia now? No, just kidding.
No. Looking for feedback. All right. So Cleveland sports, that's where we like to start things around here. So we got the Guardians that have really done nothing in free agency since the last time we've talked. But David Fry has been listed as healthy and able to return to the lineup. And he had an elbow injury last year, but you probably more notably remember him getting hit in the face with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So he will be back.
Thanks, Google.
Browns are on the coach hunt, and they're interviewing 4 people this week from outside of the organization, which are the Chargers defensive coordinator, the Jaguars offensive coordinator, the Rams defensive coordinator, the Rams, what is that? Pass game coordinator, and then Jim Schwartz. So Jim Schwartz is actually on his second interview this week, which I don't see why they wouldn't just make Jim Schwartz the head coach and give him a good offensive coordinator like Mike McDaniel or something like that. That would be the smart way to go. So we'll see what happens there. The Cavs are continuing our lovely streak. They won on Saturday, they lost on Monday, they won on Wednesday, and they are currently playing now. So they continue the win-1, lose-1 streak.
Should I check the score?
Sure.
Okay. Getting live updates in the past on the podcast about the Cavs.
Like that, live updates in the past.
It's currently tied at 102 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left.
So if they're on any kind of a thing here, they will they will lose this one. So we'll see. We'll see if we're right and the streak continues. Maybe we'll jinx that and they'll actually win 2 in a row.
That'd be great.
So OKC is still dominating everybody. They have the best record in basketball by a long shot. The Magic were playing, and their one guy, Black, he dunked on 4 people. And that's like a really cool poster looking moment if you guys want to look that up. So in the East, we have Detroit and Boston are leading everybody. And then in the West, we have OKC, who's definitely winning. And then the Spurs and the Nuggets are tied for second place in the West. So we got going on in the NBA. National championship is set. So Indiana is going to play Miami. And I just noted on here, Indiana is blowing everybody out. Like I don't see this being a good game. I mean, if Indiana continues to playing football the way they're playing football, they're just going to dominate this game. So we'll see what happens, but that's the challenge or the matchup that's been set. So here we have a note. We would like to get some feedback that we normally would have talked about earlier in the podcast, but we're going to do it here because it was sports related.
Yep. So last week we were talking about the Myles Garrett sack record. We had obviously, the full podcast episode that covered that. And we had a short/reel that went out on all the platforms. I just shortened up these usernames of people that were commenting on our reel on Instagram. It's William and Gooch. So there's that. Gooch said, it's most sacks in a season, not average sacks. I almost said snacks. Average sacks per snap. Of course, it deserves an asterisk for the extra game they had in the NFL season. And then William comments on that and he says, well, he played 1 season. Why should he get an asterisk for playing 1 season? So the debate continues, obviously.
Knew that was coming.
Yeah. And then our friend of the show, Sprite Limit, well, he had a lot of sports things to say. He said when it comes to the sacks record, he thinks it's just dumb to try to put an asterisk on these kinds of records just because the season's longer. And he says that as a Steelers fan who hates to see Garrett beat the record. So there's that. He went on to say, you can still argue if his record is more impressive than Strahan's or Watt's. The game changes all the time. For example, a lot of people would still argue that Marino's record, Drew Brees' record, or the current record that Peyton Manning holds. There's all the different statistics with standard deviations above the average that basically determines how the game has changed in terms of statistics over the years. You can really get into the weeds with that. Do your own research on that if you really want to look into it. But passing yards in the 2010s were just that much higher compared to the 80s and 90s. And now we have an extra game now. But, we still have Peyton Manning's 2013 record, which is still almost 800 yards higher than the highest this year. I think he's talking about yearly or 1 season record. He said kickoff rules, run first offenses, QBs just retiring, defenses using 2 high safeties. There's just a lot of things that have changed with the game. So he just says, we have to take each record for what it is and still recognize the context behind that record.
Well, when you go back into the 50s and 60s, they didn't throw the ball.
Yeah, there's that too.
So when you go back, this is AFL, and stuff like that, but they didn't pass the ball. It was really unusual when you had a wide receiver or a tight end or anything like that was doing well and outrunning people and stuff like that, because that wasn't what they were doing. They were 11 man in the box and,
ran the ball.
Yeah, ran the ball. So, that's, you can talk about Jim Brown.
Right.
Yeah, he dominated in a run first league that everybody knew he was going to run the ball and stack the box, and now we have spread offenses and stuff like that, where, Derrick Henry, almost going for the rushing crown. You knew he was going to get the ball, but
right.
they would pitch the ball out to the outside and spread formations and, things like that. Where back in the 60s, they didn't do that.
Right.
Everybody was up on the line. Everybody knew he was getting the ball. So, there's no purest form of this. The game is going to change. It becomes more entertaining. The more points they score, the more people watch football games.
Yep.
So they're going to open these offenses up and they're going to pay the wide receivers more, and everybody's going to be trying to do those different things, and stuff like that, because that's where the money is.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so like you said, you can nitpick any stat. You can, if you say QBR, for example, so the quarterback with the highest QBR in the NFL in 2023 was Brock Purdy. Nobody likes Brock Purdy. He's not flashy. He's not a high stats guy. He was probably top 10 in yardage that year, top 10 in touchdowns, and he was probably top 10 in interceptions. But, QBR wise, he led the NFL in yards yards per throw. People said, yeah, but his wide receivers led the NFL in yards after the catch. Well, you can argue that, he leads the wide receiver well enough to where they can run after the catch. You can say it's the wide receiver. You can,
right.
So all these stats are just there to argue about is really all it is. Because like I said before, if you want to prove a point, there's something out there on the internet that will prove your point for you. So, when I mentioned the sack record and having an asterisk, it really goes back to the main one, which was Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth's home run record when it finally did, or Hank Aaron's home run record when it got broken, they talked about those two people, and Hank Aaron played more games than Babe Ruth did. And that was the first time they ever said, your record doesn't count because you had an extra opportunity to do it. And there's validity to it, and I threw it out there and I kind of figured it might get a little, little bit of people going because sports, but so. Yeah, just, like to prove his point, basically, is all I was doing. You can look at this 100 different ways.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yeah, it's best to take the open-minded approach to some of these things for sure. Other quick things he mentioned real quick. He said he did rewatch Bree's record, and they did, in fact, pause the game for a solid 3 to 4 minutes. He didn't get on the podium. I was wrong about that. But he did meet with his family, and they had a little ceremony before the game even resumed.
Yeah, well, the main thing with that, you got to remember, too, that was a touchdown pass. So that was a touchdown pass to Darren Sproles. Drew Brees passed Dan Marino. And, if you Google when Drew Brees passed Dan Marino's passing record for all-time passing yards, there was, a whole thing. You throw a touchdown pass, they stopped the game, he went off the field. Tom Brady actually came back and broke that record.
Right.
When Tom Brady retired, Drew Brees broke the record again.
Right.
And then Tom Brady came back and broke the record again.
Yeah.
So it's actually changed hands multiple times in a 5-year span. So that might be the second time he did it. When he broke Tom Brady's record.
We can argue about it and put an asterisk on it. I think that's about all I got here for.
Well, thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
For sure. What else we got?
All right. So rolling into the NFL, our divisional round playoffs are about to start. You have Denver taking on Buffalo, which I wouldn't want to pick that game. Which Denver team shows up? It is in Denver, and they have had a week off. But if you said Bo Nix or Josh Allen, I would never say Josh Allen. I would never count him out of doing something.
Right.
He really is the NFL Superman. New England and Houston. So you have two really good defenses. And it may come down to the quarterback play. If you would have said halfway through the year, you're going to take Stroud or May, I would have said Stroud. He's proven and stuff like that. But he's played some pretty sloppy footballs recently. His last game was really bad, but that's just one bad game. They can bounce back from that pretty quick. So that should be a good game as well. Best defenses that are playing, I would say. Then you get the Rams and the Bears, and that could be 100-point game.
Yeah.
Depending on the weather.
Bears had heck of a comeback this past week.
Yeah, I know. But every time that they come back, they got to score 40 points to come back, or, 30 something points. So that could easily be a super high scoring game. If the Rams are firing on all cylinders like they were, last week, they could put up 50.
Yep.
But their defense might give up 50. So their defensive line is really good, but I have questions about their middle linebackers in their secondary. So, and then you have San Francisco versus Seattle, which this could very easily be a 7-3 game. You don't know. I mean, San Francisco has gone into Seattle and beat them the last 4 times that they've played in Seattle, which is usually a bad statistic moving forward.
Right.
Seattle, went into San Francisco, and Seattle's only lost 2 games on the road with their head coach. So they've got a great road record, but they have a really terrible home record. I mean, last year they barely made the playoffs, if they even did make the playoffs, because they lost so many games at home. So it could be interesting there. San Francisco's not getting healthy at the right time. They're getting a couple of people back, but it's like Pearsall's going to be on the field, but if it's cold, the guy might freaking sprint 5 yards and pull a different, hamstring or something. So who knows? But they did have Demarcus Robinson. He stepped up last week as a wide receiver, and he played really well. So it's nice to see somebody in that wide receiving core, trying to help Purdy out a little bit. And we lost Kittle for the season.
Yeah,
Right.
that was rough to watch.
So, and then they're saying now, that his injury could go all the way into the middle of next season.
Yeah, that's
depending
rough.
on how bad his Achilles rehab goes and his age and stuff like that.
Right.
So
That's okay. You
'cause
still
he's
have
30,
you still have Jennings that can throw a touchdown to McCaffrey.
Yeah. I mean,
That's right.
Purdy can come in and go 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and his wide receiver will come in and throw a touchdown. That's a really cool stat. So,
It is.
he's the only non-quarterback to ever throw 2 touchdown passes in the postseason.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool stat. And then if you look at it, he's got more playoff touchdowns than Justin Herbert. There's all these other people. It's a neat little thing, that he did that. And he was actually the high school quarterback for McCaffrey.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. So they went to high school together, and Jennings was the quarterback, and he was actually projected above multiple different NFL quarterbacks coming out of high school and into college. He was ranked above a bunch of NFL quarterbacks.
Wow.
So that was in that high school class. So that was pretty wild too.
I said if it's working for them, they need to keep doing that.
Somebody will catch on. But
Yeah. Right.
it was a good pass in the wind. He did overthrow him. McCaffrey made a great play to go out and get that.
That's true.
But I honestly, I think all these games could be really good. I thought we had a really good wild card round. All the games except for the Steelers and Houston game were good games.
Yep.
And I think this could be a really good round of football too. So
You had a Fred Warner update too, right?
yeah, Fred Warner, his practice window is open. He's practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming back from a really bad ankle injury in the middle of the season, like week 3 or 4, I think it was. And he's already back. He had surgery and he's already back and he's on the field. They are not going to let him play in this game, but if they do win, he will play in the division or the conference championship.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's really cool. So
He's healed very fast.
yeah, they're still
Way
saying
ahead of schedule.
there's a small chance we could have Bosa if we make it to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So team would look totally different.
Yeah.
2 all pros coming back. So
It'd be nice to have our defense back.
yeah. So that's what we have for the NFL. And we went into the NHL. I'm just going to touch on a couple of things. The top 5 teams in the NHL are the same. So it's Colorado, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Minnesota, and then Carolina. Colorado is just still dominating everybody. There's some rumors out there before the trade deadline that they might actually get better. They're supposed to go out. They're rumored to get a couple of big defensive men that are in the trade block. I hope they don't. Let's keep it competitive.
Right.
In the Metro division, they're just falling apart. So that's your other than Carolina, you've got the Blue Jackets, the Islanders, the Devils, Philadelphia, and the Rangers, and they're just garbage. They're playing like the Cavs. They win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose 2. It's just nothing good going on there. And if you haven't noticed by now, I always mention the Devils because that's my favorite team. So, okay, a little bit on soccer. I'll touch on this briefly because, again, my knowledge of soccer is not fantastic. Real Madrid is making a mid-season coaching change. So they lost in a tournament recently and they sacked their coach. So that's what they call it when they fire their coach in soccer.
Oh, they didn't tackle him?
Their
Okay.
coach.
I'm
sorry, they sacked their manager.
Okay. I was just more concerned if they tackled him or something.
No.
Okay.
He was physically able to leave the facility just fine, but they sacked their manager. So, because they don't even call their coaches, they call them managers. And so, learning all this as I go. Arsenal leads the Championship League by 3 points. So I went to check on the Premier League, which is actually, I'm not sure which one's higher, but I thought the Premier League was the big one. And Arsenal leads that. So I have no idea what I'm talking about or how there's two Arsenal teams, or why there's two Arsenal teams, because I thought you had a win in one division and move up into the other. So I was super confused when I was trying to find you guys some news out there today. Because I was like, Arsenal.
Could you be in two divisions?
Well, there's two different teams. So because the one, it says Arsenal's in the lead by 6, and then they're comparing that to past Premier League winners, like that margin of victory being 6. And then I look at the other one, it says Arsenal's winning by 3. So I'm like, oh, I start typing it out. Arsenal's lead, it got dwindled. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not in the right league and I have no idea what I'm doing. So, so I'm working on it. We're trying to get some knowledge and stuff, but like I said, I think the Premier League is the highest, because I thought it was funny that the Championship League is lower than the Premier League, because it seems like if you were playing for the championship, that would be the greatest winner. But yeah, so Sportsball.
Real-time update from the past, number 2. The Cavs won.
Nice.
So they broke the streak.
Wow.
Now I have nothing to report on.
117 to 115 with 4 seconds left, and it looks like whatever the 76ers were trying to do didn't work out. So there's that.
Yay. Yay, Cavs.
Go Sportsball.
Go Sportsball.
So hopefully the next time we see you guys, we'll be talking about the Cavs on a winning streak.
Yeah, well, different kind of games, though, that you don't like. Cozy games, where the winning streaks don't matter because they might not even be there. How are we transitioning here? So, cozy games. So it has been observed. This isn't just something that Alysha and I are going through with this game we're playing lately called Polya. But it's been observed that over the last few years, there's a category of games called cozy games that aren't anything new, but they're just becoming more prominent and popular, basically. Have you ever wondered why you just want to relax with a game rather than like conquer the world or beat everything and everyone and be super competitive? Well, some people like to do that all the time, and that's okay. But
Matt.
Some of us just want to chill out, and we end up finding ourselves drawn to games where the biggest challenge is planting your garden. And if that's you, well, you're not alone. But is this a deeper yearning for comfort, or is this simply just a smarter way of scratching a universal itch that these game companies are trying to do here? So to kind of lead into this, all right. So I saw a meme on the internet that kind of described games over the years, by the decade, I guess you could say. So like, all right, we have the 80s. Oh, here's a game where you're an astronaut and you're blasting asteroids. It's the old arcade game Asteroids.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that one's super obvious.
I feel like that was a Gen Alpha game
Yeah.
idea.
Direct terminology. In the 90s, they're like, no, you're a badass Marine and you're blasting demons. That's Doom. And then the 2000s came. It's time to kill some aliens. That's Halo. The 2010s, well, it's time to kill these zombies. I was so sick of all the zombie games that came out not too long ago. It was like every other Call of Duty game. They had all these zombie modes. You had The Last of Us. You had Left 4 Dead. Well, that came out just before the 2010s. But anyway,
Horde Waves.
Horde Waves.
Yeah, that's like all the zombie games, and then like what's the other one?
Yeah, Horde games.
Horde.
Is the name of the game?
It's a gameplay. That's the
Yeah,
style
yeah.
of gameplay where you just
Yeah.
have hordes of people that
Right,
come at you,
right,
and you stand
right.
there and you just keep mowing them down.
Yep.
And then you have a different horde of people that might have like a big guy involved in it, and you just mow them down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought I knew what you were talking about, but then when you said it, I thought maybe there was a game called that.
No, it's a game mode.
And then you have the 2020s, the pandemic hits, and there's, you know, what we're calling cozy game. It's, oh, here's a game where you have a nice house and friends and relationships and food, and you can cook and you can have a garden and you have a pet, and just like, obviously total different contrast compared to all these other games of those generations where it's like, we're killing things, we're blasting things up, and then we're just chilling out in
I
the
can't wait to
2020s.
see where this is going to go. I have a weird feeling, but
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it again.
Okay. Well, it's just been a noticeable trend that these types of games, cozy games, they're not new. These kinds of games or aspects or portions of games have been around over the years. Some examples would be like The Sims, Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, the one we're playing, Polya. You can even say to an extent like Minecraft could be considered if you're in the right state. If you're in creative mode in Minecraft, you're definitely like not under any pressure. These cozy games are a lot more relaxed, and it's very different. Basically just slows everything down about the whole concept of the game. The biggest proponent of this was most likely the pandemic, when everybody was more or less trapped in their homes, turning their homes into just safe havens and gaming into a primary hobby, basically. So there is the psychology of cozy comfort gaming. If we were going to talk about what we're playing lately in Polya, so I'm more of a like think outside of the box or competitive or, you know, trying to solve a mystery or puzzle or type of game. And I'm trying to find these games for Alysha, for both of us to play. Can't find anything. Let's try this. Not working out. Okay. She doesn't like this one. What do I do here? And then your friend tells you about this game called Polya, which is not something that was on my radar. So I'm like, okay, well, go ahead. You can start playing it. I got it installed on the computer upstairs. It's a hit for you, I would say.
And you.
Well, sure. It's a hit for me because I kind of know what I'm getting into as well with this type of game, but also like it's nice to play a game that you like, and we get to do something together for sure with this type of game. But I think there's parts of the game type that are why it's stuck with you. I don't know if there's anything that you've identified with it that's like, yeah, this is totally what I've been trying to find, that all the other stuff I've thrown at you didn't always work out.
I'm not a gamer. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I kind of just go with the flow. I grew up on Sega Genesis, if anybody remembers that bad boy.
I definitely remember that.
Streets of Rage was probably my favorite game growing up. My friend Mindy had The Sims. I did like The Sims. This game kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
So for those of us that don't know what Polya is, run us through what you're doing.
Right. So Polya is a game where you're basically have a third person perspective of your character. That you run around and you gather materials and you do quests. You run around this village and you talk to all these different village people. Basically, you're like this human that showed up on this alien planet. The villagers are very like humanoid-esque. They just have like this pink skin color that's kind of like the main difference comparing you to them. But otherwise, they're pretty much like human themselves. You end up basically having your own home and plot within like the game world. And you can like mine and you can farm and you can raise animals and you can build your home in this plot. You can craft things. You can decorate your house. You can do, help me out here. What else?
All of the things, yes.
Okay. So, but the style of like how you're going around the world and like doing everything, like you're never really in any danger. Like there's animals you can hunt. You can shoot at them with your bow and arrow.
You can catch bugs.
You can catch bugs, but like nothing's coming after you. Like you don't even have a health bar. You're not in any danger.
You have a focus bar though.
Right. You have like a focus bar, which basically just determines like how much bonus experience that you can earn at a given time.
Your Ritalin.
Right. Basically. That's one way of looking at it for sure.
But we got trapped into these cooking parties. I am at well, again, I'm super weird and don't play games, but I met my first online friend and it was like crack.
She's hooked.
The houses that these people build are so crazy.
Extravagant.
Yeah. There's like different like glitch modes and the builds are really cool. So if you like to build, if you like Minecraft, if you like The Sims, like interior design, but you really have to like go out and mine for your money or your materials.
So you were showing me your house, like in the game, and it had like, furniture and it was designed a certain way. So did you, and you said you had to build the house too, right?
Yeah,
Right.
You just start off with like a base house and then you add on from there.
So did you, and when you like mine for these materials, is it like, you showed me like you have like the different areas where you can actually put all the materials together to make what you want, right?
Mm-hmm. So those are like different skills, like furniture building. So you have to like level everything up, whether it's your tools or the equipment that you use.
So all the furniture that was in your house, like you made each of those individual items and placed it where you wanted it in the house?
More or less.
We were until we found the cheat code to cooking parties, and then you have endless money.
Right.
Oh.
So what's a
And
glitch
then-
mode?
1 second. And then one of the NPC characters, her name is Tish, she builds the furniture. So she has a shop in town. And then there's like a black market underground. And you can also buy furniture down there.
Right. Yeah. So like the furniture you can get from multiple places. You can buy it. You can get the designs or recipes, if you will, for them. Or like you might be able to earn stuff through quests, basically.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to build the house that you did? Like how long have you been playing it? Would you say, how many hours do you think you've put into it?
No idea.
Oh, we can figure that out real quick. We can figure out how many hours.
Put her on blast.
Okay.
Do you want me to say out loud?
Oh yeah, I want you to.
Go for it.
And of course, some of this is probably just like idle time, like you walked away or whatever.
Well,
Because again,
and you have to wait for things to be built.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
there's
So you
that
can't
too.
like, it's not like an initial, you buy the recipe, you go back to your plot, and then it takes X amount of time to build
right.
whatever room or
Depends on
add-on
what
that
it
you're
is.
doing.
Yeah. 172 hours on record.
Holy crap.
But like I said,
Is
there's
that
a lot-
including you too, Lucas?
No. I'm I have no idea what I am. I can probably look real quick.
He also plays Rocket League.
Yeah, I still play a ton
And
of
the
Rocket
podcast
League.
now.
Is it something that you guys can play together?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
with other friends too.
So when you play together, like if you're building house and you're building house, is it like dual screen? Is that kind of how it works, or?
No, so she plays on a computer upstairs. I typically would be playing next to her on my laptop.
I see.
Separately.
Okay.
Or down
Okay.
here.
Gotcha.
Or, yeah, I could play on my separate PC down here. You could play on Switch. You can play on Xbox. You can play on PlayStation.
But are you in the same world?
Yes. So it doesn't matter which console or PC you're on.
You're on the same server in the same party with 4 people.
Right. So
And
like
then-
two of our friends, they play on PlayStation. We can play with them anytime they're playing. And
Whenever you're mining for something or
works.
catching bugs or hunting, you all get the loot for it.
right,
As long as you're
there's-
within like a certain radius.
There's group or party bonuses if you're playing with, other people.
And then back to your glitch question, the glitch mode.
Is it a cheat code? Like
It's
you're
not-
bypassing a rule in
It's
the
not
game?
it's not a
and
cheat
getting
code. It's
something
just
done?
like we play on PC. So whenever I want something to not be in a grid that initially shows up, like I'll press the Z key and then I can kind of like finagle it to where I want it.
Yeah, that's more or less just like
And then
exploiting where you can place certain things, certain game objects within the world.
like when
Maybe
you
not
go
as they originally designed
to
you
these
to.
extravagant houses, you could see that they took like a wallpaper tile and put it on top of something and like created a pond that wouldn't have normally been like on the map or the plot.
Right.
Okay.
That
I
makes
didn't know if it
sense.
was like you were, putting the Incredible Hulk in as your character.
Oh, yeah,
No.
nothing.
Like Grand Theft Auto style
Right.
cheat
Yeah.
codes,
yeah.
or
No.
modding the game or
Yeah, not so much to the level of modding it.
okay.
And I don't know a lot about like the building either because we just started that.
Right. But then there's the other thing where we're talking about these cooking parties where I'm still trying to research and understand the properties behind everything.
Sounds like drugs.
I know. I keep thinking the
So-
same thing. I'm like,
It's
you guys are getting
cooking-
together
it's like
and making
crack
some
food.
meth.
It's like crack
Cooking food like
with high focus points,
with high focus points, high Ritalin.
which you want the high focus
No.
points for when you're trying to like level up a certain skill.
Right.
But also, like, we do sashimi parties and we bring the rice and they have the fish or whatever other ingredients. And
Right.
then we make like 400K.
400,000 gold, which is like,
Insane.
if you're playing the game, you understand like that's a ridiculous amount of money to make in like
And
a half hour to an hour. And
Sounds like drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Right?
does.
It
And it
sounds like
honestly,
drugs.
like I keep,
I bring the white stuff
I
and,
keep
we,
trying.
and we cut this.
And you
we-
make
and
sure
we cook
So-
it.
You take whatever you need to be super focused.
So I think like
This person buys a brick and it's this much. And
yep.
not being a gamer, I think I really like this game because there's so many different things to do. It's interactive, like with your friends, or you could, do something solo, like build your house and focus on your plot value or picking a different plot.
So, okay, to go back to these cooking parties,
Okay.
I can't wrap my head around this. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is like, did you just like is it like here's an invitation to my cooking party and everybody meets
Kind
up at the
of.
same time, or is it like something you just
literally
stumbled across?
I got hooked. I met
again, a drug
I met-
reference.
two.
You're hooked?
Yeah, I met 2 people. Like I met 2 of like the best people I could ever meet on this game. And like one like let me like cook at her house or whatever. So then like I got all this food.
She let you cook at her house.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
Choose my light bulb.
and then I met another guy and he was like, hey, he's like, grow some rice. And I was like, okay. And then I did a cooking party once and my friends were like, what the hell? Like, how do you have so much money? And then,
Yeah.
so Luke,
I was probably like doing something like on YouTube or
the quests.
editing, or yeah, I might have been doing something completely separate in the game. she's off doing this cooking party. I'm like, oh, this is great. You know,
And
he's
then
just having a fun time.
And then I report back to my friends. I was like,
and I see,
I cracked the game.
The food you're getting in your inventory and you're like about to sell it. And I'm just like, wait, what'd you do? How'd you do that? Like,
and I'm still confused. So, okay, I'm really, really trying to get this, but okay. When you go to these cooking parties, whatever, you meet in the same area.
right.
And you're
So
like,
wait,
when you say
hold
grow,
on. When you say like meet in this area, it's somebody's plot that they have
Okay.
cracked out where like you
Cracked out.
could, yeah, you could be like you could be in the sky cooking with all like that like stove
in the
lined up.
sky,
Yeah.
in the sky,
Hi.
high in the sky,
This
cooking up
game-
your food that's going to make you all this money.
This game is drugs.
We never should have
And
brought
I'm
this
hooked.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're growing food at these parties? Or
Not
No.
growing.
No, they
you
just
have a-
baking.
You have a garden
she
at
brings
your
ingredients.
plot.
They
Yeah.
have ingredients.
Okay.
They mix
Also-
those ingredients together and
Okay.
they make a ton of food and then they sell that food and they get money.
Yeah.
okay, this makes more
So,
sense.
okay, let me back up here and try to introduce one of the cooking aspects of the game. So you can cook stuff obviously by yourself.
Or in your party of 4 friends.
Right, but let me back up.
Okay.
So if you're cooking by yourself, you have to have all the ingredients. And so if you have all the ingredients, obviously you can do all the different steps that it takes to make a specific recipe, and then you'll get to the end product, whatever it is, a pie, a meat or steak dinner, or whatever it happens to be. And you'll get, if it's like one of the more advanced recipes, you'll get like 3 of that item. But then you introduce these, these cooking parties or just a small group of your friends or whatever. If anybody contributes to one of these recipes, everybody gets the same amount of like output of food, regardless of the fact that like, oh, I only brought this one ingredient, because the game's trying to promote like, yeah, play with your friends and then you'll all get, the same amount of end product. So then we discovered these cooking parties were happening where they would somehow make these super complicated, maybe not super complicated recipes, but the end product, food, doesn't seem like it should be like super valuable as it is. But when you have like 20 people cooking all this, in this case, sashimi, like this fish and rice and whatever else that goes into it, and it's like this super starred quality food, and everybody's getting 3 of these things all at the same time, and like the price is glitched, and you do this like 50 to 100 times in a given session, everybody's just getting like all this gold in the game at once, and we're just like, okay, this is how you make money in this game. I don't know like why I'm over here trying to mine iron or gold and sell them on the market when you're just cooking glitched food.
So you can also visit your friends' plots. So last night I told my friend, I was like, hey, if you go to Luke's house, like, don't be hard on his bachelor pad. And he's like, bachelor pad? I got money.
Yeah,
So-
because
So watch out, Luke's about to build it
Oh
up.
boy.
she was doing all these cooking parties, and I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, how are you getting this much money? And so I eventually did one. and
She's a
then, like,
hustler, baby.
Right. I eventually did one, and then she makes this comment
So-
like, don't make fun of them.
Follow-up question. Are there territories like you can only sell your cooking party food in this area and you don't cross that
No.
line because
You
that's
have
somebody
a-
else's territory?
There's
Are you
no-
selling them on the street?
You sell it outside your house.
Right.
Is your house red or blue?
It's orange.
It's whatever color you want it to be.
Yeah, but are you and your friends have the same color houses?
We're about to. So yeah, if you like gardening in real life,
They're about
You
to figure
like
out a way to make violence
cooking
in, this
in
game.
real life,
Can you throw up gang signs?
Absolutely.
I can make
not.
heart signs towards her. That's when I'll just
An
pop
emote
out of
in the
nowhere.
game.
Yeah, you can do random emotes like wave or just like.
So if you like,
Throw out the blood
if you like
symbol.
story quests, if you like foraging, which I do in real life, right? Trying to think of what else that I like about the game.
Bug catching.
I feel like that's kind of like foraging though. Like
Okay.
you're seeking something, you're picking it up.
Building your dream house.
And design, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we bring all of that explanation of that game up because these are the types of activities that happen in these types of games. So the psychology behind it, of course, is just like the fundamental human needs, having a sense of belonging and sense of creation and progress.
And simulating that in the metaverse
Yes.
instead of in real life.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. There's all sorts of different ways that video games of all types try to introduce, dopamine hits, whether it's, achievements, goals, or whatever it happens to be. Obviously, in more competitive games, it's like winning. But the question then is, could these types of games redefine the very definition of gaming? Or is it more or less just something of this generation that's happening at the time?
So this is more interactive than what I was making fun of earlier.
Okay.
Oh, like
So what I was making-
Farmville.
Yeah, I was
that's
like
super
those
simple.
those idle games. That's what they're called.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Where it's just an idle waste of time, or the game is actually doing something while it's idle.
Right.
I mean, you got a little bit of that built in, but at least there's something more to it. It was more the mobile idle games that I was thinking of.
Okay.
That was really knocking.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, there's a ton of those, for sure, which I don't know if you can group that in. I think some of those it's literally designed to like attack your boredom and pay us money at the same time, please. I mean, that's literally the business model of some of those games for sure. Where this is more or less, there's games that have been like this for years and years, but everything's toned down. There's less challenge. There's an easier barrier to entry because there's no time limits. There's no I guess you could be competitive with anything.
my house is bigger than your house.
Right, exactly. She's
Yeah.
got more gold than me, that's for sure.
Shout out to Brittany and Austin for finding Talia.
Myself, like I've still played a very, 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 very competitive game, Rocket League.
Oh, can you see how much time you have into that?
Oh, we don't need to talk about that.
No, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
it's 4,000 plus hours. Like
Holy crap.
Wow.
over 8 years.
Okay, but still, like, what is that equivalent down to in days? Like,
Yeah, it's impressive.
Go ahead and get your
I'm getting
calculator
my
out.
calculator.
While he's calculating, while he's doing some math.
There we go.
I do
So
think
what
it's
is-
interesting, like how much goes into it. Like it's there's
It's 167 days.
So what is your crack
Yeah.
game currently, Virginia? Is it Boggle?
so I have to say I'm not really a gamer
Yeah, me either.
like at all. And it was funny because when I saw cozy games, I'm like, when I think
That's not true at all. How many hours do you think you play your freaking phone games every single day?
phone games,
Yeah, you have how many different phone games?
so they're not technically games. They're like a one and done.
There-
Like it's
okay. There's a Sudoku puzzle there, which is a game.
no, I don't play it. Oh, that's a word Sudoku puzzle, kind of. Which one are you thinking
There's
of?
all these New York Times games. There's
Yeah, New York
Connections.
Times.
There's all stuff.
Connections.
There's a Sudoku thing in there you were doing too.
Yeah.
But anyway,
oh.
there's a
I don't
crossword
do that one
puzzle. There's
anymore.
this, there's that. Then she
Wordle.
has like
Yeah,
Wordle.
Wordle.
She has Wordle on steroids, which is like, yeah.
Octurtle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Turtle.
Nerdle's the math version.
Right.
Nerdle,
So,
yep.
and
Okay.
I'll tell you exactly
she
how
plays
many.
every single one of these games
Every day.
every single
Correct.
day.
So it takes me though.
Did you just say you're not really a gamer?
Yeah,
These
she
aren't
did.
these aren't like
Yes, they are.
they are like a one and done thing.
No, they're not. You
It's
play
a
it
puzzle.
every day.
It's a puzzle though.
It's still a game.
One in a day though. So okay.
Speaking from
I only
love
play these
20
one and done games on my
21
phone.
and done games. You
Yeah,
heard it
my
here.
it's not
21
20.
and
Okay,
done
I'll tell you
games
how many.
every day on my phone, 365 days
There's
a year,
7.
but I'm not a gamer.
There's 7 puzzles.
Are you
I
sure
will call
that's
them
it?
puzzles that I do every day.
Speaking
Yes.
as somebody.
I have watched her spend 90 minutes
Oh wait,
on this one game
That was when I had
Which game?
That was when I had
because I have
Letterbox.
I have to solve it.
his
in
letterbox.
3.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna win the game, even though she could one and done the game in about
Maybe I
5
should-
minutes. She's like, I'm gonna
It's
spend
true.
90 minutes on this one game.
So
my
it'll
phone is
tell-
going to be on. Can I charge my phone so I can stare at the screen for 90 minutes? That's playing a game. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's
It's
the
true, but I don't
same
play it
thing.
anymore. So
Screen
since-
time.
Okay, the
So now
current
is it Boggle? Your current crack game?
No,
Both of you?
no, we
I
only
wouldn't
play that
say-
for
yeah.
maybe 20 minutes every few
Yeah.
days or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like okay, yeah, that would be for me. That would be the game I'm playing. I play no other games.
Oh. Why don't you play other games, Matt?
Just I don't like. I mean,
Monopoly Go?
Well,
I don't play it.
Okay,
I
Not
quit.
anymore.
so if you're gonna call me out, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call you out. What is the game that you play that's like a Candy Crush type thing? You play that all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I wish I could look up the hours on that.
I wish I could look up the hours currently. I will tell you, when I did Letterbox, you're right. That was a long time. But I have to say,
She quit playing it 2 days ago.
no, I quit playing it when
she
you.
played it today.
I'll tell you when I quit playing it, when they started charging for a subscription to play that one.
Oh, man.
So I
Okay.
could look up the exact
I mean, that's,
day.
I'm glad you're not investing money into certain things. you
No,
know what
I
mean?
won't.
But,
I
you know.
won't do it for money. But I do have to say, those 7 games that I do takes me a maximum of like 20 minutes a day.
That's not even true.
It is true.
You're not even done with all 7 of them, and we were sat
Yes,
here.
I am.
waiting
I'm
for-
done with all 7
Yeah,
of
but
them.
you didn't do all 7 of them while we were waiting for him.
No, but that was what, 2 minutes?
No, it was like 15, 20 minutes.
But I wasn't actually doing it the whole time.
Because I told you to get off your phone and stop playing games.
But I
Like
finished
literally the words. It doesn't matter. The point is that yes, you do play a shit ton of games.
it. 7
You're-
to be exact.
Okay, you play 7 different games. You're more of a gamer than Alysha. She only plays 1.
I just started, too.
Okay, and I'm not even gonna call them games. They're puzzles. It's a
They're games.
you solve the puzzle for the day and then you're done.
We used to play Wordle, but we don't do that much anymore.
yeah,
We briefly did Connections.
yeah.
Yeah, Connections are always a good one that I like.
Yes, a puzzle is generally considered a type of a game.
You know, everybody's got their different
Minus the board.
definition
Here's
of
Yeah.
gamer.
and here's what I
But
like
coming
about it.
from somebody that's played 167 days of Rocket League, apparently, I clearly have a different definition than all of you.
You don't consider that a game?
No, it's different. I didn't say it wasn't.
Why is
A
it different,
different type of game that you like, you mean?
Because, okay, the stereotype, I think, is that all of these games that you're playing, for example, which you're trying to qualify
Puzzles
as
slash
like
games.
puzzle games, educational games,
Yeah, it's a mind like
potentially.
exercise.
That's not what the stereotype is as a gamer.
I would agree.
It's more like, you know, super competitive games, your first person shooters, Call of Duty, Halo, Fortnite. Rocket League doesn't really fall into the stereotype, but it is a competitive game. Whereas, yeah, these ones aren't.
But there's Rocket League tournaments, just like there's EA Sports tournaments for people that play EA Sports video games.
Okay, no. I'm not saying I'm not considering myself. I'm
Oh,
just
I
saying
thought-
it's
okay.
not the direct
I thought that that's the
stereotype.
way you were starting.
No,
that was
no.
that you said
No.
you don't see it.
I am not discounting myself at
Okay.
all. The 4,000 hours speaks for itself. But I'm just saying your examples wouldn't fall into that stereotype, I don't think. As much as you might say that she is gaming.
I don't consider myself a gamer because I do some puzzles every day.
No, you can add it. Virginia, the gamer.
Virginia the gamer.
That's me.
Whether you want to call it competitive gaming, you want to call it gaming, whatever, nuances of the words that you want to put in there.
Mind sports.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
I mean,
I'm a mind sporter.
I guess I'm playing Duolingo, so that makes me the same thing, right?
We're playing that gamer ball.
Gamer ball?
Sports ball. I don't know.
Sportsball,
I'm trying to make a
I don't know.
equivalent.
I think when you're sitting there on your phone, you can't do anything because you're sitting there on the phone and you're looking at it and you're just enthralled in what you're doing.
Doom scrolling.
I mean, yeah, and to some extent.
But that's different.
We know, in a way, we've talked about that too. It is this mind-numbing activity, which most games to me are just mind-numbing activity. Like, I could not imagine spending 66 hours of my life in 2 months in front of a TV doing that. Like, I've played video games before. Like, I played the Harry Potter Hogwarts game when it came out. And I don't have 66 hours into that, and I beat the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like... Right. And I almost 100%ed it, it's just like, but I never picked it up again. You know what I mean? Like I played it through the story and like I could have went back and went through each house of Harry Potter, and all that stuff. Right. And like the weird little things you could do. That's the only thing I didn't do.
I think Matt is secretly like a mastermind in every game that he tackles. I've watched this happen where he'll figure out how to like
manipulate it
or like
game the game.
Yes, game the game.
Would you still
like
be
have
playing?
a cooking party?
And I think his challenge, his challenge when he plays a game is figuring out how to beat the system.
And as soon as I do that, I'm bored with the game and I'll play it anymore.
It's valid.
Yeah.
Would you still be playing Monopoly Go?
No. Well, you mean if my hack still worked? I don't know. I mean, I actually probably I made I made friends on there. Like I couldn't believe I was putting like Facebook groups and different like out, like I was on Discord because of Monopoly Go. Yep. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. And like I've seen my screen time, like the difference in my screen time when I'm not playing Monopoly Go, because when I first started trying to hack that game, I was manually writing down every single roll. And I would do that for 1,000 or 1,500 rolls, restart the game, and then I would know what my roll was going to be for the next 1,500 rolls. Yep. And it was like, it was bad.
It looked
like a beautiful mind where I just had numbers written on paper like everywhere, And
then it was hilarious because like even it got to the point where like if I was driving, we were driving somewhere, he'd be like, here's my sheet, take over. And he taught me how to do the hack. And then sometimes I would mess it up and he'd be like, well, why'd you do that?
I was bad. I was bad about Monopoly Go, but I don't miss that at all. I don't miss Monopoly Go at all. I really don't. I thought it was really interesting that you get a bunch of grown adults on social media and things like that fighting over. You said you were going to send me a card and you didn't.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
It's intense.
Like you have no morals. You're a terrible human being.
Another thing about Polia is you can like request items. Like say you're making furniture and you run out of iron bars or something, you could request it and just a random person will gift it to you. Right. So you don't have to go out into like a different. You said your
server was 4 people.
No.
That's the party.
Yeah, the parties you can have where you can just.
So how big are the servers?
Well, the servers,
you can have private?
Probably. No. It's like servers is probably not the way you want to look at it. Like it's an aspect of how the game operates, but like the servers is literally just like the technical portion of like how many people can be in this game world at the same time.
So how many people are in your world at any given time?
Probably at least a few hundred, if not, I would guess 500 to 1,000 at a.
It's hard to tell because
it's hard to tell.
People are on different servers at different times.
Right.
And then the maps are like huge, if you will.
See, like GTA, it's a limited number of people that can be in a lobby.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to base it off of that because that's an open world environment where you can move around and all that stuff. And
I would guess at the very least a few hundred.
That's a big
server,
lobby.
Which that only comes into play where if you're trying to do something with somebody else, or I guess it's just the architecture of the game. If you have too many people on one given server, it's going to put you on a different server. Still the same, visual game world, but you're not going to see the same people because in the background, that's a computer in a server rack sitting somewhere and it's got to host everybody playing that game.
Right.
You can't do that on one computer. You got to have tons of those. That's all that really is.
So how do you make sure that you're always in the same server with your friends?
Same party.
Yeah, you can join.
It has to be a party.
It doesn't have to be. You can join the same server that they're on. And if you don't have that button there that allows you to join that same server, you already are on that same one.
Okay.
So, but to actually put a number on it, like how many people are actually on the server, I don't know because it doesn't just directly tell you.
Okay.
So, I'm trying not to give away my trivia question because there's a term for it.
Okay.
So
we're going to roll into that here. So,
okay. So all that being said, cozy games are happening and, you never know when you're going to stumble into one because they're everywhere now, apparently. Yep. Okay. Trivia. So, basically the question is, what are these 3 different video game terms or acronyms? The first one is cross-platform. The second one is MMORPG. And the third one is RTS. And we'll let you guys think on that, but we will come back to the trivia questions right after the break. This episode of Mamalukes is brought to you by Wave Dash Radio. If you're into video game or anime music, you should get tuned in. Whether you prefer the classics of Mario and Sonic, modern tracks of Halo or Kingdom Hearts, or the soundtracks of Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, and My Hero Academia, we've got a station for you. Featuring 4 separate stations, each with a curated playlist, you're sure to find something to jam out to. And the best part? You can listen for free. No strings attached, no asterisks. Just visit wave-radio.com to get started. That's WAVEDASH radio.com. Welcome back. It's time for trivia. All right. Virginia's got the first one.
All right. The question is, how long did the longest Monopoly game ever played last? So you can put it in hours or days, and you can, that's a clue. And we'll do Price is Right rules. So the closest without going over.
Do we have to do the math?
No.
Or days down to hours?
No, you can just pick one or the other. All right. Everybody have their answer?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll start with you, Matt.
I put 75 hours.
75 hours. Lucas?
I went with 60 hours.
60 hours. Okay. And Alysha?
Oh, it's 96 hours and 26 minutes. Lucky number.
You guys were all pretty close with your guesses. But you are all very far off. Alysha is definitely the winner.
Oh.
How long is it?
You want to give her the
I put 4 days.
Yeah. Well, it is 70 days. 70?
Okay, you're going to have to explain that.
Yeah, that's
70 days?
people were awake for 70 days playing Monopoly.
Yep.
No, they'd be dead.
It's
Like even at 75 hours at that point, you're talking about like special forces training.
I checked several, just for the record, this is noted on like multiple searches that I did.
This needed to be like updated where they didn't play 24 hours a day.
That's insane.
It actually equates to 1,680 hours. So pretty intense Monopoly game there.
So
That wasn't consecutive.
Was that consecutive?
people didn't have
not
jobs?
consecutive, but like
Were they kids?
Yeah,
total actual playing time.
Is this like them spending 167 days on Rocket League? Because he didn't do that consecutively.
Right.
Whoa, you said them.
Yeah, I don't know why you said them.
You peoples.
I've never
Gamers.
played Rocket League.
I didn't say you. Did I say Alysha?
You
I said
them.
them.
You pointed
Me.
in my
Them.
direction.
His peeps.
Is he
Okay.
they them?
Good Lord. I don't know his pronouns and I don't assume. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll have to look into
Yeah,
that. I'll
that's
let you know for
bad.
next time, but
That's
that's
bad. Boo.
that's
Booing
the
your
multiple
trivia
sources
question.
say 70 days.
Well, you should have said how many
but
days.
There's no way that was
We're
I did say that.
consecutive.
I said that's your clue.
Yeah,
I said you could put hours or days.
but nobody's thinking 70 days.
I wasn't thinking.
I didn't
70
think that
days.
either, but I was like,
I thought that 4 days was a stretch. I was like, maybe it's 2.
Yeah, because we're all thinking consecutive time like they didn't stop
Yeah.
playing.
I was just thinking, like, if it's kids, how many days could you stay at your friend's house before their parents kick you out?
Boo.
Can I stay the night? Can I stay the night?
Good job, Alysha. You win that one.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, there you go. And then me and Matt.
Even though it wasn't close at all.
I mean, none of us were close, but yeah, it is what it is.
That's what she said.
Anyway, our second trivia question was me. Video game acronyms / terms. So I want you to try and define these 3. Cross-platform, MMO, RPG, and RTS. And let me know if you need more time.
I will definitely need more time.
Okay. Maybe in the edit, I'll give you the extended remix version of the trivia music. Okay, time's up. All right. Who feels the most confident?
It's probably going to be me.
Okay.
So I'd like to see the other answers first.
Okay. We'll start with Alysha. What you got?
Not much.
Okay, well that's okay.
I can already see your answers, and I think they look great.
Cross-platform, I put like multiple characters in different realms. Like your Sonic in your Rocket League.
Okay. That's a different term. I see what you're thinking though.
I
That
have no
would be
idea.
called a platformer game.
I got one word, platform.
So, but no. Sorry.
What do you got for cross-platform?
Virginia, what do you got for cross-platform?
Well, I took the real literal approach here and just said using multiple playing platforms at once.
What are playing platforms that you're referring to here?
Are you saying I have a shot
You
here
have
at
a
this?
shot, but I'm not sure if you know where you're going yourself.
you
Oh, I know where I'm
I think
going.
you took the term and kind of re-expressed the
Well,
words.
yeah. Thanks, Gen Alpha. Let's see here. When I mean playing platforms, I'm talking about like you can play on like your PC and you can also play on your mobile phone or something like that.
Okay. I'll give it to you, I guess.
Console and PC games together.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
more or
Then
less.
I knew that, but I didn't realize it was called platforms.
Right. Yes, cross-platform. So anything that, and that term's kind of used loosely, whether they're actually compatible with each other. If it's like a multiplayer game where, you know, it's multiplayer, but you can only play like on the same platform as other people that are also on the same platform, but it happens to be available on different things.
So true cross
You can
platform
only
is
play
like
on PlayStation.
like
you
if
can
you
only
like
play
you
on
and Alysha
Xbox.
are playing on a PC and on a console, right? Like at
Right.
the same time in the same like game.
Right. So something like Minecraft, where you can play on a PC or your phone or an Xbox or a PlayStation, and everybody's playing together.
Gotcha.
That would be true cross-platform. Okay.
No idea.
Second term, MMORPG. Nothing.
Something person gaming.
Nope.
No idea.
Okay, well, I just made up
What do
some
you
words
got?
and put them all together.
All right.
I said, we'll see if any of them stick. It doesn't even make sense. Memory megabytes obtained, readily played in the game.
You got game correctly.
You got game, but not enough else.
So this
Well,
is.
1 out of 6 is enough.
I feel like we learned this today because this is what Polia is.
More or
And
less, yes.
Meth making organically.
Meth
No.
making.
Role playing game.
Okay.
Wait, what was it?
That's pretty solid.
Say it again.
What was
Matt?
MMO in that one?
Meth making organically in a role playing game.
Yes.
That is Polia.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm going to give you a
Half of
no and a yes.
it was more fun than the actual answer. So yeah.
Yes. So, no. MMO stands for Massively Multiplayer Online. So, something like Polia. The stereotypical one that everybody usually thinks of is World of Warcraft. There's tons of different ones that are not coming to mind right now. But yeah, it's just a genre typically for RPGs, where you have tons of people playing, tons and tons, thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of people playing in a single game, usually of the RPG type. And the last one here.
Wait, is it role playing games? Is that
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
Role-playing game.
You got
yeah,
that. Oh, that's why
had
you got
that
half.
Right.
Got it?
So, yes, the last one here is RTS. And you don't know. Okay.
I don't even want to say my answer, to be quite honest. I wrote real tech supplies. I don't know.
You got
Real.
1 out of 3.
That's still an F.
Yeah.
It's a real time strategy game.
Yes, that is correct. Real-time strategy. A lot of games kind of fall into that. But I think something traditionally of the RTS genre would be something like StarCraft or Dota, which is like a game where you have, it's like a third-person perspective, where you're looking at like lots of different characters on a map and you're controlling them all at the same time, and you're usually commanding them against somebody else's set of characters or an army of some sort. And you're trying to like kill each other in real time, and you have different strategies, weaknesses, strengths too.
You might have like militia or cannonball people.
Right.
Or different
Age of
things.
Empires, that's another one I was trying to think of. Yeah, there's all sorts of different types of.
There's the simple ones that are on your mobile phone too, where you have like a list of 5 Marvel characters fighting a list of 5 Marvel characters.
Right,
And each
right.
one has certain abilities, and you try to use them one at a time against each other.
Yep.
So,
You know, for being not a gamer, you sure know a lot about gaming.
yeah, dude, you can educate yourself and still not play video games. So
And yeah, that's all we got for trivia. The more you know when it comes to those gaming terms. I got tons more to throw at you if you ever want more. Or if you don't,
No,
that's
thank you.
fine. That's what I figured. That's okay. But yeah, I think that is about gonna wrap it up here.
Week number 5 is in the books.
Week number 5 is done. Episode 5 is done. As I said at the beginning, subscribe if you haven't already. You can find us on your typical social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. But if you really want to support us, share our show with a friend. Don't share your show, share our show. As I made the mistake last episode. Leave a review, leave a comment, leave a Mamaluke of the Week story. Just a story about somebody being foolish or an idiot or whatever, and it was a story worth telling us. Send that in the comment section or however you can on social media, perhaps. Check out our website, mamalukes.net, and that should be it. We'll see you next time.